gotta say, I can't actually think of the last time I interviewed someone and then followed up on something, but this was an interesting story. Let's start first with what you told me after our interview last Thursday, which was that you are, am I recalling this correctly, a witness, or you are participating in a criminal investigation of some kind? What can you tell me?
So I've been made aware of a allegation of a serious crime involving a public official, involving a member of the General Assembly. And specifically, that is being right now investigated by law enforcement.
Is this a member of your own party?
I can't provide any type of details on that, but I will tell you that it's a very serious crime, and when I heard about it, I reported immediately to the proper authorities. There is an ongoing investigation. I have been authorized to say that. And also, well, I can't say that. I have to respect law enforcement is right now conducting an ongoing investigation. They've asked me not to divulge any type of details. But I strongly do believe that one of the people who is aware of that investigation is a person who is actually providing you with bad information, false information about my red light camera bills. And specifically, without saying who it is, I believe that Jim Durkin is providing you with information, and his team, not him directly, but his team. Jim Durkin is the most corrupt politician in the state of Illinois. He actually has taken money from SafeSpeed. He is actually totally in bed with SafeSpeed. His best friend Tom Walsh gave him a $1,000 contribution. This is a guy who actually with the Broadview strip club wouldn't even be deposed, and this is part of an ongoing investigation. So the most corrupt person in the state of Illinois right now, public official, I say on the record to you, is Jim Durkin. And obviously the Durkin team is providing you with bad information. And
why is that obvious to you? Because I have not...
Very obvious. I think it's very obvious based on his track record of being here for 25 years, being completely in bed with SafeSpeed, being complete opponent of reform. I believe that Jim Durkin's team is providing you with information, and of course to try to.
This is a hunch you have? I've given you no indication.
No, I believe absolutely. I believe that is the case, and I'm here to say that I will never be intimidated by the most corrupt politician in the state of Illinois, Jim Durkin. I am here to fight for the people. I'm here to fight for what is right, and I'm also, when I see wrong, and when I'm made aware of wrongdoing, I go to the authorities. And there is an ongoing investigation, and I look forward to see the results, and I will cooperate fully in that investigation, continue to cooperate fully in that investigation.
Okay, so there's a little bit to unpack here. Let me start with this, and we'll get to some of what you just said. I have never, in my years of reporting, encountered a law enforcement agency that would tell a cooperating witness or would tell anyone, you, not a law enforcement employee, are authorized to speak about this ongoing investigation to this limited. This would be unprecedented. I've never seen.
That is what I have been told, and like I said, I have also encouraged that when the investigation is done, that all of the records, all of the documents, all of the information that's been provided should be made available to the public.
And just to be clear, your evidence that Jim Durkin is the quote most corrupt politician in Springfield is that he took a contribution from SafeSpeed?
No. He took $7,500 from SafeSpeed.
Which he
took $1,000 from Tom Walsh, the lobby. See, he returned. It's like robbing a bank and then giving me back the money.
It's
like robbing the bank and giving the money back. Yeah. And here's a guy who has been involved. He's a municipal bond attorney. Has been involved in a municipal bond attorney, and is the most corrupt politician in the state of Illinois.
Should you return a contribution from Ann Promajor at ComEd and Exelon?
No.
Why not?
Absolutely not, because she's a constituent, and there's obviously a ongoing investigation. If she is indicted for anything, of course I would return a contribution, but she hasn't been indicted for anything at this point.
So interesting. So the part of the reason for, and I think this started some, just being direct with you, I think it started some conversation in Springfield when your House bill from 2015 was actually spelled out in that federal search warrant.
Absolutely. In fact, it's House Bill 173.
Correct.
And in that search warrant, they were able to determine that Martin Sandoval is the person who obviously killed that bill. And that's why he's spending time in jail. I'm proud that I passed that bill out of the House. I just passed the same bill out of the House. I also just requested officially to run the bill to ban all red light cameras. I've been the biggest opponent of red light cameras in the state.
Did you just break some news? You requested to pass that bill?
I officially requested, as I promised on the floor,
to whom?
To Michael Selesky. When he was on the floor.
You requested who?
I requested the Chief of Staff to Speaker Madigan to move that bill out of Rules Committee, the bill to ban all red light cameras.
What was their response?
They were going to consider it. So we'll see what happens. I have no indication. I'm hopeful that it'll be called. That's the bill I support, but I think this is the first step. I'm the only person who's ever passed a bill to ban red light cameras in this state, and it takes 45% of the municipalities, 45 out of 101 would have to remove their cameras. But I have said very clearly, well, under 25,000, it's home rule. That's how the law is set up. This will require a supermajority if I have the opportunity to call that bill on the floor of the House. I hope that I do, because these red light cameras are corrupt.
Stepping aside from our interview and all the Jim Durkin stuff for a second, I'll go back to that. On the full ban, because this is interesting to WGN, to all of our people in Chicago, what are the politics there? I mean, that's going to be hard, right? You're going to get mayors of Aurora, of Naperville,
Absolutely.
of Chicago. They're going to oppose that, right?
But let me be clear. Jim Durkin opposed my bill last week. Tom Walsh, the lobbyist, his best friend, opposed the bill. That's the same as opposing it. That's a present vote is a no vote. There's no doubt about it. Jim Durkin is the most corrupt politician in the state of Illinois. He is an enemy of reform in this state. And let me be clear. I want to pass a bill to ban all red light cameras. This was a start. As I promised on the floor to Mike Zaleski, decided at the time, when he asked, when are you going to move this? And as I told you when we had our interview last week, move it at the right time. I have made an official request. I'm hopeful, I have no commitment, that I will be able to move this bill out of the Rules Committee to committee and pass it on the floor. But it wasn't easy to pass it last week. I mean, it was 84-4, but you saw the long debate. You had people. We had a 45-minute debate. People opposing it.
Because they wanted the full ban.
No, that's not true. You have to look at the thing. There are some people who said they want a full ban. I hope they get the opportunity to vote on it, because that's what I want. This is a corrupt program, and I am proud of the bill that I passed in 2015. That actually was a first step. It was killed. And the interesting thing is, we didn't know until recently that for sure it was Sandoval. We didn't know if it was others in the Senate who actually killed the bill. That's what came out. So I want to applaud John Lausch, the U.S. District Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, the FBI. Keep your investigation up, because they are doing an outstanding job. And thank you for your work on House Bill 173. That's what I say to law enforcement.
Yeah. So two House Democrats who sit there and watch all these investigations, these federal investigations that John Lausch and others are undertaking, they know this Springfield stuff, right? They know what happens in these halls. They see you have dinner with Mike McLean, or with Tom Cullerton, or with any number of people close to and under the microscope of this federal investigation. Is it beyond reason for them to presume that?
Of course it is. It's an absolute defamatory statement. And if anybody ever said that publicly, I would sue them. I'm the biggest reformer in the state of Illinois. So get your sources on the record, and I will sue anybody who questions me. I have worked across the aisle. I work with the most liberal members. I work with the most conservative members. I have had dinner with a number of people, but I have never, ever violated any type of public trust. And if you're going to repeat Jim Durkin's charges and charges by unnamed sources, put them on the record, because if so, I will sue them for slander and libel, period.
We do push all sources to go on the record.
Well, then if you don't have them on the record, if they go on the record, and I hope they show this, I will sue them for slander or libel.
Yeah.
So I want to be very, very clear that get your sources on the record.
How corrupt or how pure is Mike Madigan?
I believe that we need a Republican Speaker of the House. And so
Why
it's
can't
the
you
people.
Answer that question?
Oh, so I believe that Mike Madigan needs to go. There's not even a question about it. I believe what we need to do, though, and let me be very clear, I'm not here to support any other Democrat. I'm here to say that we need to elect Republicans. Under Jim Durkin's leadership, we lost 7 seats. So absolutely, I support a Republican. We need to pick up the seats in the House so that, in fact, we are in a position to absolutely take control of the House. So yes, Mike Madigan needs to go. A lot of Democrats need to go in this place. What we need to do, though, is elect a Republican Speaker of the House. And because of the corrupt, dishonest, unethical leadership of Jim Durkin, we actually lost 7 seats.
Give me a peek behind the is it a strategy or an approach of Representative David McSweeney? Did you see it as a barrier to entry, or as a necessity that you must wine and dine with Mike McLean or with Tom Cullerton? Why?
That is absolutely outrageous. I have dinner with a number of people because what I have been able to do is work across the aisle.
No, what I've Trump 2020 big
listen. I have made it clear. I mean, nobody has passed more bipartisan bills than I have because I have been able to work across the aisle. But my strategy, absolutely, my strategy has been from the beginning is I only have dinner with Democrats down here because they're actually very rarely will you see me dinner with a Republican because I want to develop personal relationships. I want to pass bills. I'm not down here just to be a wallflower. I'm down here to do things like banning red light cameras, get property tax relief, pass consolidation legislation. That's why I'm down here.
Got it. So there was a strategy in saying if I have a relationship with these folks, I can pass
absolutely 100% a personal relationship. Absolutely, that's how Ronald Reagan got his agenda done. Ronald Reagan had a Democratic House. He worked members. And he was able to pass his agenda. So absolutely, I have as a strategy, I have developed very strong personal relationships with Democrats, almost everybody across the aisle, because that's what you need to do to pass your bills. And I have a very solid conservative voting record, and I'm able to pass bills.
You mentioned a moment ago that we didn't know until recently that Senator Sandoval was involved in killing the red light.
Well, we didn't know he was the only one.
There's a lot
of things, for sure.
Right. And there's a lot of things that we didn't know until recently. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, and I think maybe most people didn't know the extent to which Mike McLean was involved with some of the ComEd lobbying and the sort of pseudo-patronage jobs and all that. We've also recently learned that Mike McLean has told WBEZ on the record he's not helping federal investigators in their investigation into Speaker Madigan. Should he?
Absolutely, he should provide whatever information he has. Absolutely. It's incumbent upon him and incumbent on anybody else. Just like when I found out that there was wrongdoing in Springfield, I immediately reported it. So the answer is yes, absolutely, 100%.
So let's dig in on that a little bit, because I understand you're saying there's an ongoing criminal investigation, but that sounds separate from your allegation that Jim Durkin's corrupt.
It is the actual member is unrelated to that. Okay. But people who have knowledge of that, people who have knowledge of that, who won't go on the record with you or providing false information.
Is this related to the Julie Porter case?
No, it is not specifically reported.
I just had to ask because you've made noise
about
that.
Right. And I've been made about the cover-ups, about the cover-ups of the three cases with legislative inspector general.
We've covered
right,
the cover.
absolutely,
I don't know if that makes sense.
100%.
Yeah, I get it. So okay, help me understand. There's the Safe Speed contribution. You've mentioned vaguely municipal bond lawyer. What else leads you to believe that Jim Durkin is corrupt?
I believe not only his involvement with the red light cameras, not only his work as a municipal bond lawyer for Berwyn, not only his involvement, not only his involvement in the three cover-ups, the cover-ups in Springfield of the three cases that Julie Porter is referring to. I believe Jim Durkin has material knowledge on that. I believe Jim Durkin is hiding behind that, and I believe it's corrupt.
Well, I'm standing here as a reporter.
And I'm saying this on the record.
I know. But Representative, please understand that I'm standing here as a curious reporter in good faith with you who has looked into and tried to find any evidence to support those three claims you've made. I'm a little hazy on the municipal bond thing. I don't know exactly what you're driving at, but I have yet to find any evidence to support this is concrete evidence that Jim Durkin is corrupt, and I'm telling you that as a person who's
that's your opinion.
So
that's your opinion.
Not my opinion.
That's your opinion.
It's my experience.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. I have a different opinion.
Maybe you know something I don't, so I'm asking you to fill in the blanks.
I am providing you with all the information. I believe Jim Durkin is the most corrupt politician in the state of Illinois.
Not one newspaper, not one TV station, not one radio station has printed any of that. Is there some massive cover? Certainly we're not all in on it.
No, absolutely not. In fact, all the newspapers, every single TV station, every single newspaper has reported on the cover-ups of the three cases involving the legislative inspector general. I believe, and nobody has any information.
But we don't
nobody has. Well, you know, you're saying absolutely.
Isn't that just as much attributed to Speaker Madigan as Jim Durkin?
I believe it's more attributable in this case to Jim Durkin because of his involvement in this case. In fact, the chairman of the actual legislative ethics commission, Every Bourne, is on his leadership team. So I have criticized all leaders, but I believe that Jim Durkin is especially responsible for this.
I guess we just don't know what you presume
to
know.
Then,
we don't have that information.
And you're not providing. And just as you have an opinion, I believe strongly, and I say on the record. No, I believe that's your opinion.
I don't have the information. I don't have the goods. I don't know.
I understand.
Prove that.
And what I'm telling you is, I believe that Jim Durkin is the most corrupt politician in the state of Illinois. Based on what I told you, based on the fact that.
But based on what information?
Based on the information I'm providing. And based on information I think will come out in the future.
To law enforcement?
I can't say that. I will tell you that I think there'll be some information.
You haven't given it to the press.
I think there'll be additional information that will come out in addition to the information I provided today.
Okay. I think that covers it. Any final thoughts?
Nope.
Anything I've missed?
That's it.
Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right.